guys, it's Jasmine, and actually I got an update from my grandfather. He is 84 years old, and he is working on a series called Finders Weepers, Losers Keepers. I got permission to steal the title from him because I think that that is very appropriate for this series that we're working on right now too. So we are the, I guess, millennial version of Finders, Weepers, Losers, Keepers, Biggest Losers of the Bible. And last week we talked about Father Abraham, and he was definitely acquainted with a lot of losses in his life, many of which were self-inflicted. He was telling a whole lot of partial truths everywhere he went so that his beautiful wife wouldn't get him killed. But Romans 8:28 says that we know that all things work together for good of those who love God, for those who are called according to his purpose. Ishmael's mother, who was an Egyptian servant of Sarah's, where did she come from? She came from his first lie when he traveled down to Egypt in the famine and said, "Oh, this is my sister. We want to make sure that we're getting you good with the brother." And they gave him all these gifts, which included servants. That's where Hagar came from. She was one of the gifts that was given as a result of his lie.
Imagine how vulnerable it must have been for Abraham to walk back to Sarah and say, "Hey, baby, no, here are your readers. Here you go. No, let me get your catheter right. Okay, here you go, baby." Because she was old. She was dusty. Baby, hold on, let me move your wheelchair. Okay, let me tell you what God told me. He gave me a vision, and he said, look up into the stars and number them if you can. That's how many descendants I'm gonna give you. So I just came to tell you, I'm gonna put it down and you're gonna get pregnant.
There's so many things that God just turned around in Abraham's life that, like I said, some of which were his own poor choices. Isn't that a blessing that we can see that even our losses can be turned around for good? A lot of times we look at these people in the Bible and we say, "Oh, isn't that an interesting story?" And we forget that they were real people and they had to go through real experiences. So we're going to take a look at Noah today.
Yeah, we typically think of the flood story as about God being angry, but it actually begins with God's sadness and grief about the state of his world. And so out of his passion to preserve the goodness of his world, he washes it clean with the flood.
The earth had become corrupt and was filled with violence. So God said to Noah, "I have decided to destroy all living creatures, for they have filled the earth with violence. Yes, I will wipe them all out with the earth."
Not unlike our current generation, Noah's era was known to be exceedingly wicked. There was all kind of sexual immorality. There was all kinds of just lawlessness and violence, hyper-spiritualism, those sort of things were going on in Noah's day. And we're starting to see a lot of that sort of thing in our day as well. For those of you who were with us for the End Time series, you know Matthew 24, verses 36 through 38, it says, "Now concerning that day or hour, no one knows, neither the angels in heaven, nor the Son, just the Father only. As the days of Noah were, so will the coming of the Son of Man be. For in those days before the flood, they were eating, drinking, marrying, giving in marriage, till the day Noah boarded the ark." This scripture reference is mirrored in Luke 17:24 through 27. It says, "For as lightning flashes from horizon to horizon and lights up the sky, so the Son of Man will be in his day. But first he must suffer many things and be rejected by this generation. Just as it was in the day of Noah, so it will be in the days of the Son of Man. People will be eating, drinking, marrying, given in marriage, until the day Noah boarded the ark. The flood came and destroyed them all."
But there's a glimmer of hope. He chooses Noah and his whole family.
So you're really him, aren't you?
You want more proof? I haven't done the pillar of salt thing in a while.
And he saves them on this boat.
He had 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth.
I don't understand why you chose me.
You want to change the world, son. So do I.
What? Why an ark? I mean, that's like flood territory. You wouldn't do that. Would you do that?
Let's just say that whatever I do because I love you.
Well, then you have to understand that this whole building an ark thing is really not part of my plans here. I need to settle into my house. I need to make a good impression at work. What?
Your plans.
What are you talking? We're talking about an ark, right? I mean, an ark? An ark is huge. I don't even know where I would begin.
Al, I hear that a lot. People want to change the world, don't know how to begin. Build the ark. I'll tell you what, you build it, I'll fill it. And if anybody asks, tell them a flood's coming. Oh, and you might need this.
Okay, so what do? I grab the wood and then... Oh, okay. You know, that's just cruel.
Yeah, don't forget about the animals.
Right. And the animals.
Do you see him? I don't see him.
So Noah and his family are going to reboot all of humanity. I mean, he must be a pretty great guy.
Building an ark the old-fashioned way. God is the creator of the heavens and the earth. He lives in all things and has over 6,700,000,000 children.
Bonus point. Vision always makes you vulnerable. I was vulnerable because we were none of those things. It felt like I was standing up there bucket naked. Y'all know that, bucket naked. Just exposed. And let me help you. That's what true vision makes you feel like. Do you know how Noah must have felt to just tell his wife, I'm about to spend the next couple decades. Now, I know what I said about vacation next summer, but I got a vision from God. And so I'm going to be spending, honestly, I need our sons and their wives, in fact, everybody, y'all birthed. I need everybody to help me. Because somebody going to have to go rile up the animals. And then somebody going to have to help me with this wood. And somebody's going like, do you imagine how vulnerable it must have been?
Noah obeyed God and built the ark precisely as God had instructed. The Lord said to Noah, "Go into the boat with all your family, for among all the people of the earth I can see that you alone are good. Take with you the animals I approve. 7 days from now I will make the rains pour down on the earth. It will rain for 40 days and for 40 nights until I have wiped from the earth all the living things I have created." At this time, Noah was 600 years old. So Noah entered the boat with his wife and his sons and their wives. 2 by 2, 1 pair of every kind of animal came into the boat, representing every living thing that breathes. Then the Lord closed the door behind them.
But this is the story most people don't know because it's kind of weird, is that Noah gets off the boat and he plants a vineyard and he gets totally plastered. And then something sketchy happens in his tent.
Standing up there bucket naked. Y'all know that, bucket naked.
And it's a tragic story.
So Noah, he was the one righteous man that was gonna basically save all of humanity, but it took a long time for him to get justice and justified that what he was saying and what he was working on was coming true. I'm sure people were mocking him. I'm sure his wife and his kids, their daughters-in-law, like, what is this old crazy old man is doing and what is my husband getting us into? Well, they had no clue what they were getting themselves into. But even this man who was so upstanding and so amazing gets drunk and is passed out butt naked in his tent, and his kids are laughing at him. We are not immune to flaws and things that other people will look at us and say, wow, that was a mistake. Like, aren't you ashamed? Again, all things can work together for good for those who love the Lord and are called according to his purpose. In Isaiah 54, 8 verses 10, it says, in a surge of anger, I hid my face from you for a moment, but I will have compassion on you with everlasting love, says the Lord, your Redeemer. For this is like to the days of Noah to me, when I swore that the waters of Noah would never flood the earth again. So I have sworn that I will not be angry with or rebuke you. Though the mountains move and the hills shake, my love will not be removed from you, and my covenant of peace will not be shaken, says your compassionate Lord. Even when mistakes are made, we see that compassion is infused into the way the Lord deals with us. If I was in the Lord's shoes after Adam and Eve messed up, I probably would have gotten rid of man right then. Maybe I would have waited until Cain and Abel, but I would have been done with man. So God is very patient with some of our failures and flaws, and he's not unaware of the failures and flaws that we will have. And so those of us who he calls according to his purposes, he does factor those in. So that is all I have for you guys right now, and can't wait to see where it takes us next time. Bye guys.